Hi, welcome back to another episode of Talks with Tea. I'm so grateful that you chose to sit here and listen to me talk about Jesus. Today I have a guest, and his name is Paul.
Hello.
Hello, Paul. I'm so happy that you said yes to this, and people are going to get to know you.
Well,
Going to get to share your story.
thanks for asking me. I know I'm like third string on the bench, but we're good.
It's my pleasure. So tell us a little bit about you. Who are you? What do you do right now? Where are you from?
Yeah, I guess I'm just finishing up my pastoral license. I'm the worship pastor at Gateway North here in Austin, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do here. And I'm also a music producer and a songwriter. And I'm getting a phone call right now from Justin Meese. Um, Sorry, Justin.
Shucks.
Yeah, so I'm a songwriter. I'm also an avid amateur pickleball player.
Okay.
Love pickleball. Let's go. Take over all the tennis courts. I'm going to get canceled for that. That's okay. But yeah, that's kind of what I do, who I am. Your local mechanic for brake jobs too, if you
Yeah,
guys ever need
yeah.
it. So, that's who I am in a nutshell.
That's cool. And you're working on you have an album that just came out.
I do have an album that just came out.
Tell us about that.
Well, it's called Driveway Talks, and long story short, it's kind of an accumulation of, I always describe it as you pick up a friend from their house, and then
Hmm.
you get you guys go watch a movie, or you guys go to another party, and then you end up dropping that friend off, and then you turn the ignition key off in their driveway or your driveway, and then you end up just sitting for 3 hours
That's
talking.
so true. Yep.
So that's kind of what the album's about. It's about things that I've talked with some of my buddies for the last decade. It's some of the things that I've talked with even my wife, even as we were dating. And so it's kind of just deeper talks. I feel like the industry is saturated with these love songs and breakup songs, which aren't bad things at all. But I wanted to write an album dedicated to kind of some of the deeper things in
Hmm.
life. So,
That's
yeah.
really good. I so agree with that because my best friend and I was telling you about this the other day. Whenever we come back from a hangout, we always sit in the car and it's like an hour, 2 hours go by every
Hmm.
single time.
Yep.
And there's so many times that I've thought, dang, we had really good conversations right now. If people were listening to us, they would be connecting so deep.
Yeah. Could
So,
be like maybe mount a GoPro
yeah,
for
you know
your
what?
podcast and then just do like, driveway
Might
talks
do
with
that
tea.
and have your album playing in the
Oh yeah, there you
background.
go. Oh shit. Oh yeah, collab. I see. I like the way you're thinking.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
So you and
Skylab. Yep. No,
Skyla,
you're good. You're
how
good.
did you guys meet?
Oh man. So I will try to keep this as brief as possible.
Okay.
But I was couch surfing at my best friend's house. Both Jackson, Shannon, and Katie and Kurt. They were living in an apartment together. And Katie comes back from a kickboxing gym class. This is during COVID times,
Hmm.
and she comes in. She goes, "Paul, I met your wife." And I just belly laughed. I goes, "Okay, whatever you say. I've only been here for 2 weeks."
Whoa.
And it's funny because I kind of challenged Katie. I was like, "Okay, fine, make it happen." And Katie saw kind of like the pressure of what it feels like for a guy to ask a girl out,
Yeah.
and was like, how do I navigate asking this girl to meet this guy and stuff like that. But anyways, Katie came back and she was like, man, this girl's incredible. Like, I really think that you guys would hit it off. And then a year goes by, nothing happens. But at some point, Katie and Steph, they were hanging out with Skyla, and
Uh,
they're making, they're just getting to know her and stuff. And Katie made Skyla follow me on Instagram
okay.
just randomly. And Skyla had like no, I'm not looking at his Instagram, not going to look at his online profile
Yeah.
because I want to know who he is for who he
Word.
is.
Okay.
And so, long story short, it never really happened to hang out with Katie and I, but I had heard about Skyla through proxy of Katie.
Yeah.
Long story short, I saw Skyla at the climbing gym, and I was like, "Oh, shoot, there she is!" And
Whoa.
I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's the girl! That's the girl that she's been talking about." And so I went and introduced myself all awkwardly, and then we climbed and talked for like 3 hours, and I just looked at her and I said, "Hey, would love to take you out to dinner," and that's all she wrote.
Oh my gosh. That's like a God moment. They're just walking and you're like, wait.
Just yeah,
God's
literally.
like, that's your shot. You better take it. And you
Yep,
did.
yep. South Crux, which no longer is there, RIP, but they're building a new one. So, Crux
Whoa.
family. a C? I forget. It's supposed to be backwards for me.
That works.
There it is.
You just made some like climbing buddies just now.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, dude.
That is so cool. How long did you guys date before you got married?
I'm trying to think. Started dating in May of 2021, and then we got married March 2023.
Mm.
So, yeah, so almost a year and a half, or a year before we got engaged, and then 6 months of being engaged.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tight timeline. So,
Oh.
ring by spring.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'm so happy to hear that. I love her. She's great.
Yeah, she puts up with my mess. So.
I took good care of that toolbox, that pink
Oh
one.
yeah,
I
that
was
pink
like,
one. Oh yeah.
I need to. Nothing's going wrong with it.
You know what's funny? She's never used it.
It looked really new.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
can't believe I said that out loud.
That means-
She's gonna be so bad. She's gonna, I did use it. I'm like, all right.
It looked really fresh.
Yeah.
I was grateful for that. And then she cooked for me
Yeah.
at the Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
She won my heart.
You know that woman. She's great, and she was so nervous because that was her first time, but she
did really good.
She crushed it.
I love people who feed me, so she.
Yeah.
She's
That's how you know someone's good is if they feed you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But going back to your music timeline, so when did you first start, pursue music? Did you always pursue music growing up, or how was that?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of ties into some of my story, but I kind of had two paths forward. I wanted to either be a firefighter, or I wanted to pursue music as a calling. And God kind of just spoke to me in the middle of it all and said, you can always try music, see if it works out, and then you can go for firefighting later if it doesn't work out. And somehow, lo and behold, music had happened, and I started leading worship when I was 15. And then just kind of went from there and started doing some songwriting stuff. Got a really cool opportunity. Shout out my boy, Sean Cook. He's Shabuzi's producer. And we actually would stay up to the wee hours of 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And we'd just be recording and grinding. And he was already amazing at his craft, but there's some things he was learning. And then I was also learning too, just watching the process. And Sean was so gracious, and we would make our 3 a.m. Denny runs and always go through the value menu, and it was a good time. But that's kind of where it all sparked. And then we had a buddy named Evan Kraft. He's kind of big in the Latin American Christian world music, and so wrote a song, and he translated a couple of my songs, and just kind of took really well to the internet and YouTube before any of the viral things were a thing. And so, just music seemed to be propelled forward in a way that I just couldn't understand. I didn't understand it was so much favor for not so much effort. People dream about getting onto a label and dream about going viral because they're putting their time and efforts into it. And for me, I was some kid in college just living life and playing flag football and playing rugby in college.
Yeah.
Just living my life.
Satisfied.
Yeah, eating carne asada fries, doing the thing, and hanging out with my buddies. So, anyways, leading worship throughout all of that and just songwriting and just continually to do music. Eventually, I found myself into producing in my mid-20s. And so just kind of fell in love with the process there. And learned on YouTube University. Amazing.
Nice.
Such a great university. Free 99. And so learned how to mix and master. Yeah. Learned how to mix and master and all that stuff. Still learning to this day. But yeah, that's kind of how my music journey's been. And lately I've just been kind of producing music and writing songs. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You started at 15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was I doing at 15? Not that.
I mean, I was forced to. So.
What church were you going to during that time? Did you grow up in a Christian family?
So my dad actually he was a Presbyterian Korean Presbyterian, and it was funny because my Korean is horrible, but he would make us sit through services that he would put on, or he used to work at Good Samaritan Hospital down in LA,
Mm-hmm.
and we would just help him out with service. But a couple of my friends, because I had kept telling my dad I would like to go to an English speaking church, and so eventually, when I started actually leading worship, was at a church. Well, I was developed at a church called Woodland Hills Neighborhood Church. My sister was actually my first worship director,
Oh.
and so that was fun and traumatic. I think both for her and I equally. And then really started leading worship at this place called Agora Bible Fellowship, which is in Agora, California.
Okay.
And Andy Garcia was my first worship pastor there. Shout out Andy. And he gave me a chance and just let me mess up a bunch and gave me a lot of grace. And yeah, started leading worship in the main room at like 15 and a half, which I was like, I don't even understand what's happening right now. And then Chad Reiser took over, and Chad has been, he was so formational from the years of like 16 to 18, just really taught me what excellence was.
Mm-hmm.
And even leading worship, Chad is actually an amazing arranger, composer. He's done some really big things. And he's got a heart of gold. He really cares. So that's kind of how my journey started.
Wow. Sounds like you had a lot of really great mentors too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's such a blessing.
Yeah, had a ton of really good mentors. I mean, it was very divine, I would say.
What would you say was a big challenging moment or maybe like a turning point in your life where you're like, okay, I need to do something different or turn to God or something?
Yeah, it was interesting. The thing that I'm thinking of right now, because there's been a few, because I'm an old man now, um,
Grandpa.
but Grandpa Paul. Um, the first one was as things were kind of going viral for a song that I did with Evan called Somos Tuyos, which is Belong. I was I was like being asked to lead worship at different places and having to do some really cool big events. But then in the same sphere at APU, my chapel, like I would try out for chapel band and I got rejected all three times that I tried out. And so it's just like this weird thing of like, man, I have so much encouragement and affirmation from this one space of just like the music that I'm writing and the music that I'm getting to sing and having the opportunity to praise God in different spheres. But then at my own university, like I'm being rejected for my musical giftings and stuff like that. And so it's just kind of a weird polarizing feeling because you're like, am I good? Like, am I having an American Idol effect? Like, what's going on? Simon, where are you? Like, are you rejecting me, at the university and saying like I'm actually really not good? And so it was a pretty defining moment because I had some key mentors like Koba Canales. He's the discipleship pastor there. I think he's actually something else now, but he's the goat. I mean, the guy is he loves people. He's taught me so many formational things about discipleship, and he just looked at me and he's like, "Dude, you're so talented, and none of this makes sense." And for him to say that, I go, "Man, that's crazy." Like that's I just needed someone who was godly, who had a good head on their shoulders, just to speak into my life and say, "No, like you can do this. Don't let this define you." And so, yeah, that was a pretty big moment.
Yeah. Wow, that just shows the importance of having people in your life who are really supportive, but not just that, like you can also look up to them
Hmm.
in a way.
Yeah, Koba's actually an incredible singer and musician. I'm totally putting him on blast, but he can totally. I mean, he's gifted. So yeah, I believed him. He's dope.
Do you think it's harder now for guys to form friendships like that?
Absolutely. I mean, I have this whole theory that guys are way better with side to side friendships
Mm.
than forward facing friendships. Like, if you think about it, most guys always at a sporting event, side to side,
Oh, I see.
playing video games next to each other when it used to be on one console on a TV, side to
Yeah.
side, like a lot of side to side energy. And it's funny because it's like when they're faced to go on a date with a girl or something, it's like always forward facing.
Mm-hmm.
And so for them, it's kind of hard to like you don't really see a lot of guys going out to coffee and just like hanging out and talking. Like that's not really
Yeah.
that much of a thing. Like a beer, probably yeah, But like coffee or something like that, probably not. Or like they're like, oh, let's go toss the frisbee around, or let's go throw the ball around. So I think for guys, it's
Oh.
a little different. It's the side to side friendship, like if that makes any sense.
I've never thought of it that way before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's a good insight.
yeah.
Wow. What would you recommend they do to form the good friendships? Like, or do you think, are you saying the side to side friendship is what really works for them so it keeps going? Do you think that helps them form the deeper friendships where they're actually able to communicate,
Mm-hmm.
to each other? Or is there something else that they should be doing or something else that you had to do in order to actually form that friendship that's like, okay, I'm having a hard time and I need someone to talk to?
Yeah, I think, man, it's funny because I think most guys need a buffer,
Mm.
and that's what it is. It's a buffer. Playing sports together, it's kind of a buffer. Playing video games together, it's kind of a buffer. It's like this thing to kind of break the ice between them.
Mm.
Because a lot of times, like I remember I used to play ultimate frisbee back in the day with a crew, and it was just like you play ultimate hard for 3 hours. You're running for like 10 miles in the night, and you go to Topper's Pizza, and you sit down and have a meal, and just you start talking about life. It's like that weird like icebreaker between guys,
Yeah.
and some guys they need that. Some guys don't. I would say majority guys
Need the
need that.
buffer.
And I think it's a good way to just kind of, you know, it's not even a defense mechanism. I think it's just for them to feel comfortable in their skin and to feel comfortable just being in front of people.
Mm.
I think having a common interest like that, like even rock climbing, like you'd find so many people just bouldering and then just having a conversation
Yeah.
as they're working on a problem that's near someone else's. So I think it's just more of a buffer. And I would say just try to gauge, you know, like try to gauge what you need. Like as a guy for me, like I don't necessarily need that, but I also know like if I come into contact with someone that does, like definitely just hang out. Just do that, And then that moment will come. So, but most of the closest guy friends in my life, we didn't really need that kind of side to side thing. Like it was more of a I'm really intentional being your friend and being a part of your life and hearing the ins and outs of what you're struggling with, what you're excited about. And so, yeah, I think every guy is different.
Was it? I think okay. I really like you saying that because it helps put it into perspective. I feel like it's also harder for us to understand y'all's brains sometimes, or
Oh
like
yeah.
even with guy friends too. It's just a whole different world. Seeing those two, perspectives. And you mentioned wanting to be kind of being direct with your friends about being intentional. How would you recommend, or I guess, what would be an advice you'd give to a guy who's watching this right now, who's just like, I really want that deep friendship and I really want to be vulnerable. Like, what's the first step? What do I do? You know?
Yeah, I mean, man, I think the biggest thing is what type of friend would you want championing you in your corner and then you being that friend for others?
Mm.
Being the example set before you have it even reciprocated to you. Because if you yourself are a stable, confident, consistent person, you will in turn find those people, and you will in turn learn those lessons along the way in life of finding people who are consistent, who are respectful, who are if you are those things.
Mm.
So those commonalities will eventually you will be able to see those signs and also attract those people. That's what I would say.
That's very good. So for you would be like, if you have a friend who you're not deep yet with and you want to initiate the conversation, hey,
Yeah.
what's really going on in your life?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's how Katie and I. It goes to girls too. I think that's how Katie and I deepened our friendship. Where we're just like during COVID. I think we started with politics, where she was like, "What's your stand on what's going on right now?"
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a conversation like that with a friend. I'm like, I actually don't know. I've
Yeah, a
never
little
thought
uncomfortable.
about it. Yeah, it was so uncomfortable. And she's a very passionate person with a lot of topics. So she's going on and on about it. And I'm listening. And I'm like, I'm not that. I don't know. I've never thought of this in any way before. And I think she was one that helped me really process deeper friendships because she would ask all the hard questions. And then I admired that in her. And then I would make a new friend and ask them the hard questions. Hey, what's
Mm-hmm.
really going on?
Yeah, yeah.
Like what's actually happening? And
Yeah.
yesterday, actually, I had a conversation with my friend Anna. We weren't expecting to stay. I wasn't expecting her to stay as long as she did because she was about to leave. And we sat there, and all of a sudden, we're talking about all the things we've experienced in life. And
Mm.
she's crying, and I'm sobbing, and
Yeah.
we're like, "What's going on right now?" We're
Right.
just laughing,
Yeah.
and it's really just I like that you said that.
Yeah.
Making the initiative, being the friend that you would want
Yeah.
to have.
And the thing is everyone is always scared to ask the question first,
It's terrifying.
but there's no need because we're all equal in that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we are all wanting to be known and to know others. Whether you are an introvert or not, like, yeah, sure, your extrovert or your person people threshold might be lower than some people. I know
Mm-hmm.
mine is, and but at the same time, it's like I still want to be known.
Yeah.
I want people to ask me that question. Like, if I don't have that in my life, then I'm just isolated and I feel alone. And so sometimes even reaching out, even if you're scared to ask the question and you're scared about what's going to come the other way, it's okay. At least that person knows that you actually care.
Yeah,
And
that's so true.
eventually, you know, depends on what they've been through, depends on, their life experience and the
Mm-hmm.
things that they've really had to wrestle with. But I mean, their response will tell you almost everything you need to know about
Yeah.
what speed to initiate conversation or
Yeah.
depth with.
That's really good. And you never know, at that time the person might not be able to communicate it well, but eventually they might be like, actually, I need someone to talk to right now, and this person was open for a deep conversation, and then they reach out.
Yeah. And also in your early 20s, mid 20s, like just trying to figure out who you are.
Mm.
So it's like sometimes those questions can be a little, I don't know, intense because you're
Mm-hmm.
just like, how am I doing? I don't really know, you know?
Dude, yes. Yes. You mentioned guys, the what was it? Being face to
Face to
face,
face. Yeah,
like
yeah.
that one being harder.
Mm-hmm.
As a woman, I think that's what's easier for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the face to face talking, getting to know someone. But what would you say makes it hard for them, like in dating?
I think it's just the fact of being seen. I know that's so weird, like, right? But it's like it's really like like especially guys in dating. It's so funny because most guys have really low self confidence. There's obviously a difference between how we are compared to each other on social media for guys than it is for girls. But the reality is guys, it makes them uncomfortable because for them to be seen, there are parts to them that they also feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh my gosh, can she see through me or something like that? Or this is weird. I haven't made eye contact with someone for this long in a very long time. And um, I think it's just really uncomfortable for guys because they're just scared of being seen. Like they're afraid they're gonna share something emotionally to you that they're like, oh, I don't know if I was ready for that, you know, which is totally fair, but at the same time, it's something most guys struggle with.
Mm. Did you ever have that experience?
Oh yeah, I mean, in my early 20s, my mid 20s to my late 20s, I was like the most awkward guy in high school and middle school. Like no one had a crush on me. I was just like the weird.
No one you knew of.
Well, I mean, I could tell you, it wasn't. It was. I was a dud. Yeah. I mean, I just had no confidence. Like
Mm.
anytime, any pretty girl would like look at me and be like, "Ooh, gosh, I'm scared."
Oh.
But like, I think it was in my late 20s. I'm like, oh, they fart, they have bo, like they're the same as me.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that differentiates the the level of worth.
Mm.
I'm like,
Mm.
I'm just me. So yeah.
Whenever you became a Christian, do you think that changed your view on dating as well? Was there anything that did change, or what would be something that you were like, okay, before I knew God to this extent, because you can be a Christian and then become a
Mm-hmm.
man of God.
Mm-hmm.
So that point of view, was there anything major that shifted where you're like, you know what, I used to view it your relationship as this, or I used to view dating as this, but now I see it this way.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, my parents did a really good job loving each other in their marriage. And so for me, I would say that's a huge highlight in their marriage is they showed me what being in love looks like
Mm-hmm.
as far as partners. And I'm like, I just took that into account. And that's kind of been my whole viewpoint on dating in general is like, I'm dating to get married. Whether that was before I was a follower of Christ or even after till now, like it was the mantra of like, no, my goal to date is to see if this person is my future.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, then the lessons that I've learned along the way, slash what I did like that they did, what I didn't like, those are all things that I'm going to have to sift through and realize those are qualities that I want in the next relationship or that I don't. And then each time I get closer and closer, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then met Skyla. So,
That's good. That's really good. It's definitely not as smooth sailing nowadays when it comes to dating.
mm-mm.
Um, I think it's the vulnerability part that I struggle with because to let someone in is not as hard, but letting someone or having someone else let me in is pretty difficult.
Mm.
With friendships, at least, I've been able to be vulnerable with women and get to know them more, and then we form deeper friendships. With guys, I think lately it's becoming more surface level as I go on, or because I just feel like it's a lot of time, a lot of effort, which I really do want to, but crossing that, that I don't know, not the line, but it's going from surface level to vulnerability. It's
Mm-hmm.
getting harder and harder for me.
Yeah.
But then, it's also harder from a guy's perspective. But I don't know. It's just, I guess God will do his thing
Yeah.
and we'll figure it out. But is there any advice you'd give to future daughters who are
Oh
probably going
my
to look this up when they're like in high
gosh.
school?
Well, let me ask you this. I want to ask you a question. How about this? We're
Okay.
going to flip the script.
Okay.
Why are you becoming less vulnerable with guys that are your friends? Because I do believe you should guard your heart, especially because, like, you might be attracted to some of your guy
Mm-hmm.
friends and stuff like that, and, like, you're hoping for more. But, like, what pattern do you see as you've been retracting?
I think I've been lately, very, very recently, I've been able to be vulnerable with my guy friends,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not been easy to be vulnerable with people I do see romantically.
Yeah.
I have like a wall up. And I think it's because I've just seen, I don't know, I think I have a distrust in a little bit in a way from my experience in the past of getting to know someone. And then after a month, it's like not who they really are. And then it's just a lot of effort and a lot of time and energy put into it. And I really do want my person. I do want a family in the future. I do want all the things. Um, but I was telling my friends the other day, I find it hard to actually envision myself in a relationship because I've also never really been in a long term relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's been I get to know someone for a month and then we're like, it's not gonna work out. And then
Mm-hmm.
we stop. So and also growing up, I've seen just people in my lives who I think I'd probably say 5% of them were in good relationships, and then the other percent it's just one maybe an hour of good time and then 23 hours of just agony and they're not happy and it's miserable. So it's the
Mm.
thought of letting someone in or being vulnerable or having my emotions in someone else's hands where anything you do could really affect me. That
Mm.
kind of scares me, and I think I've gotten better at being vulnerable with my guy friends lately, but I've gotten worse at being vulnerable with romantic interest.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm noticing, and it's because I feel like I don't want to lose myself.
Yeah.
And I've grown so much, got to know myself so much that the fear of who I am in a long term relationship kind of scares me because I don't know if I'm going to be the same. And I don't think I will be the same, but I'm really hoping it's better and not worse. And I've seen people in my life lose their light from being in long term relationships with people who we thought were good. And then all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah.
what's going on, So
Yeah.
I think I have that side of my, subconscious mind to really figure out why. And I really don't want to close myself off to it because nothing good comes from that.
You
So,
know,
yeah.
what's interesting to me, sorry, I'm just like in this topic now. I'm like locked in. Locked
Good.
in. Because, like, my question is when you're vulnerable with somebody that you're romantically interested in, or just in general, and someone does something to show like their cards that they're not invested as much as you are, or breaks trust in a certain way, like my question is because I think as I've gotten a little bit older, like I'm vulnerable with people, and I know this is really a maybe not the right way to say it, but I almost expect people to hurt me.
Mm.
But at the same time, because I have that expectation that no one's perfect and that that's bound to happen, it is. Like I just have lowered the expectation. And for me, like especially in such a public facing role at the church, like I find myself having to be vulnerable all the time, you know, and that trust can be broken a lot. It has been broken a lot. I've been let down a lot, but at the same time, like I think that's the question I'm asking is for you personally. I'm interested to hear like why does it hurt so much for you?
That's a good question. Mm, I will say I've noticed that I do that. I guess this would probably lead into the answer for the question.
Mm-hmm.
I do go into the dating the person with the mindset of it not working out, and I think it comes from just growing up, not in a relationship, really wanting one. But again,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I was that desirable in high school or middle school, so I didn't have anything at all until after I graduated, and
Yeah.
then graduating and now meeting people, meeting guys, and I'm saving myself to marriage, and that's
Mm-hmm.
like the number one turn off for them at the time because I would be talking to guys who weren't Christian, or they
Yeah.
said they knew God but they weren't really following Jesus. And I grew up with the mindset of you save yourself to marriage, and at the time I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really want to do it for God. It was more of like I was told not to, so I wouldn't do it because the church said don't do it. So the older I got and seeing that it was very much if I'm not offering my body then we can't have a relationship, and I'm
Yeah.
like, so I think that also added more to the wall where I'm like, okay, well now I have to be really picky. And then
Mm-hmm.
meeting guys who that was always something on their list where it's like I can't do that, and
Mm.
so I think that's part of it. And then I would always expect after a month we're gonna break up or it's not gonna work out,
Mm-hmm.
or and also I think this hits a little close to home because being a black female as well, I've also
Mm-hmm.
seen every other race chosen before me.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Yeah.
thought of someone who I'm attracted to just not being completely attracted to me also really like it hurts. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't feel good. And I just don't know if I can fully believe that someone's attracted to me when I've seen their track record of like people who are completely different than me. So I
Mm-hmm.
think a part of me is also expecting that. But I know that it's not really the best way to live. And there are people who I've honestly been surprised that I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're attracted to each other. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lie in there that I think I believed for so long that you know what, I'm just never gonna be chosen first, and that's okay. Like I'm always the second choice or the third choice, or there's always another woman that they're trying to figure out, do I like you more? And it's so tiring. And I think I just felt my heart get beat up multiple times, and I'm like, gosh, like I
Yeah.
want to put myself out there. I want to say yes to dates, but also it's either you should make it very clear that you want me or I'm not putting any effort or
Mm-hmm.
time into it, because I've also been super independent for so long where I feel really self-sufficient and I'm really satisfied with where I'm at with God and my life and friends and family, that adding another person to my life, it has to be something that I fully am confident like, yep, this is God.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gotten rid of that side of me that's like, okay, yeah, I'll go on a date knowing it's not going to work out,
Yeah.
knowing they're not my person.
Yeah.
And I can't really know, even if I feel the inkling, I can't know for sure. But there's certain times that I'm just like completely shut things out. But I do think I do self-sabotage a lot, and I think
Mm.
it hurts a lot because it affected my identity
Yeah.
for a long time,
Yeah.
where another person's making a decision and all of a sudden I'm questioning who I am, my worth.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the worth part too, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and that's that word expectation. It's
Yeah.
important because, like, I think what I'm hearing from you, and if it's okay for me to share,
Yeah.
like, I think you're just used to I think you're used to it just being a failure.
Yeah.
And there's a book that I've had a couple of my mentees read. It's called Forward by John Maxwell, I think. I forget the author's name, but it it really put my mind onto what failure really is. And you can look at those experiences that you've had as failures, which is, you call it what you call it. But the definition of failing is actually not bad. The definition of failure is understanding that that current assignment, that current duty, that current step did not work out, or it's propelling you forward. Because the reality is, you might be just like, you might have walked through 259 doors and you knocked, and it's just not the right door. But then you give up on the 260th, and that's the right door. And you didn't give as much effort, you didn't give as much vulnerability, you didn't give as much power to that. And it's like, you were so close. And you had no idea that all of those failures were just leading you to that last door.
That's good.
So, I mean, it's just the way to look at failure, I think, in my opinion. It's just to say, like, I think it's good to guard your heart and to say, hey, this may not work out, may whatever, but there's going to be some really cool learnings from this. If this doesn't work out, man, I'm so much closer to that next one. I'm so much closer to the one. Because I know, like, dating out in the real world, man, it's a rough climate. And honestly, especially in dating in the Christian world, you are looking for a unicorn. You really are. Like, especially for an independent woman, who's driven to do their own thing, self-sufficient. I hate to say it, there's a lot of guys out there that would rather have a needy woman who makes them feel good about being a provider, having them need them. And you are not that type of person. And so you have to also realize within yourself, you're kind of swimming upstream in that way. Because, like, you need a man's that won't feel insecure about you not needing them. That's hard. It's hard for a lot of guys, whether they want to admit it or not. It's hard. So that's my 2 cents.
This became a therapy session. That's really good. It's really good.
Just food for thought.
I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who's also processing this right now. There's someone watching that's like, dang, you clocked it.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
That's good. But you're right. I definitely need to not be so close up. And I think I've never really verbalized that before. So thank you for asking that question.
Yeah, of course.
I think I needed to really hear myself say it and process it out so I can move forward and,
Yeah. And I mean, I know I'm your worship pastor, and I'm gonna be biased, but, like, you are worth a good man. You are worth someone who is just willing to stand by your side and just champion you with all the things that you're doing in life, and also vice versa, that you do the same thing for him, and that you guys are just really for each other and being attracted to the drive of life, like chasing after the things that God has put into your hearts to chase after, and being like, we're going for it together. And whether that's you're in your lane right now and doing that thing that God has specifically called to you, or to your future husband, specific things. Because I know a lot of people in marriages that their ministry paths are completely have not separated them, but they're running in 2 tracks, but you see one supporting the other in one lane and the other supporting the other, and that's what you need, at the end of the day, and you deserve that. It's hard to find. It's really hard to find.
God, do your thing.
Yes, Lord. Future husband of Temi, if you're listening in right now and you feel that stirring your heart, be bold.
Yeah, because I won't know.
Yeah.
You got to make it clear.
You better be a snack.
Gosh. Okay, Papa Paul.
Sorry. I digress.
Actually, let's talk about this.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
So, talking about younger Paul, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a video.
No. No.
Don't be scared. It's okay.
Oh, no. I know what it is. Oh, my goodness. This video, I need to take it down.
Can you guess who told me to do this?
Oh, it's got to be Jeannie.
No, you have other culprits.
It was Connor.
It was your son. He really threw you under the bus here. Okay, so yeah.
Oh, Lord. I can hear the music. The trauma.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's really cool.
See those boots? Connor wears those boots.
No way.
Connor, here's the thing. I'm going to throw him under the bus now. Connor and I are the same person.
No way.
This is your future, Connor. Me. Get used to it, buddy. Yeah, that's...
Stop.
Oh, no.
Wait, that's actually so cool. I didn't know that. Connor, why wouldn't you?
Connor wouldn't admit that, but now...
You got it right back. Okay, so tell me about this video. What was happening?
You know, I don't know what was happening. It's one of the songs I wrote, and oh my gosh, is it hot in here? Because, oh gosh.
Don't worry, guys. I'll link it below.
Anyways,
it's not awful, it's younger Paul, and
yeah,
having the time of your life with a tripod.
You know, I was such a good video director back then using iMovie. All of that was edited on iMovie.
That's impressive.
You
had like a whole mic stand next to the highway. Wow.
That's 4th Street Bridge in LA. I don't know what I was doing. Honestly, this is part of kind of how you were talking about like being second choice and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple opportunities here and there with like labels and stuff like that, and I was never picked up. And I think a part of that is because I wasn't sellable.
Oh.
I do recognize that. I wasn't what they were looking for. And I think a big part of that has changed now in the industry as far as Asian Americans. But I was never looked at or given a chance. And so this video, as funny as it is, and as much as I regret it, I was just like, dude, I'm going to do my own thing. If no one else is going to help me and I don't have the funds to do it and I don't have, a label backing me and stuff like that, I'm just going to try to do it by myself. And so that's what this was. It was horrible.
Dude, I support it.
You know what's funny is that that video actually resurfaced during my interview for Gateway.
Whoa.
And I was so embarrassed. I couldn't believe it.
It's not a bad video. You're very determined.
You're very nice.
And you're... No, it really is like a good throwback.
Oh, gosh, it's so painful. Oh.
It's okay. I see stuff that I do when I'm younger and I'm like...
But that's Connor. That's Connor right there.
Dude.
The hill shot. Mm-hmm.
This is wild because he has his video that's on the roof that... Oh,
it's
Connor.
Literally Connor.
I'm coming for you, Connor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to have it side by side.
Oh, we're the same.
Dude.
I'm a little larger than him, but we're the same.
Wow. I mean, it makes sense why you guys he's so drawn to you. That's your son. He's like under your wing.
Yeah, I love that kid. Yeah.
Well, do you have a favorite verse?
I have two, actually.
Okay. Tell us.
So the first one is tattooed on my left bicep.
Okay.
And as like that Christian worship leader thing.
Yeah.
Wave. And then the sleeve.
The stereotype.
Oh, he's got a tattoo. He must be edgy. So...
Okay.
So bad. 1 John 4:19. And if you want to read it. I don't know what version you have.
This is a very embarrassing thing. I literally have to look through all the entire book.
Hey, camera, look over there. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's just go. Oh my gosh, what's over there, camera? I don't know. Where is it?
Is it after Peter?
It's somewhere over here. I always forget too, to be honest.
Because I know the other John. I'm like, I think that's
Revelation.
Yep.
Yeah.
There it is. Wow, you're so... Look at you flexing the Bible knowledge over there, Mr. Camera
He's going
Boy.
to seminary, you know that?
Just kidding. Are you serious? No. I was like, wait, what? I think it's here. Yeah, 1 John. 1 John chapter 4:19. So
4:19. Okay.
Yep. Maybe I should name my first son John.
4:19.
Yep. There you go. And what does it say?
It says we love each other because he loved us first.
Yes. So I think my I think my translation says, "We love because He first loved us," and
Mm.
I love that verse because it's the call to love others because that example has been set before you. Like, I have been loved first, so I must go and
Mm.
do the same thing. It's like Christ emulated the thing that I needed to do, so I must do it too. Like, it's like a good boss, like a boss that is willing to get down into the trenches with you, to not be afraid of the dirty work and lead by example. And we have a God that does that.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of why that verse sticks out. And then I have another one. It's John 3:17.
Okay, if you could just say it, if you know.
Yeah, I can say it. Yeah, and it's for God so loved the world that He did not send His Son into the world to condemn the world, but
Mm-hmm.
that through His Son it might be saved. And it's the verse after 3:16 because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people know that verse, but it's basically saying like God did not bridge a gap between humanity because He wanted to condemn humanity, but that He wanted to offer a chance for it to be saved, which I think a lot of us really miss out on in our Christian walk and our faith, because I think a lot of Christians, especially in the American church, we do a lot of condemning, which there's nothing wrong with highlighting the depravity of our sin and understanding the trespasses that we have against Jesus and God and the things that we've done in our past. But there's also the other side of the coin of just realizing our job. If God's intention was not to condemn the world, but that for it to be saved, how much more should that onus and that mission be on us? That we're not supposed to focus on condemning people
Mm-hmm.
at all. At all, in general. That's God's duty. But even though that is His rightful place to condemn people, He has chosen not to look at it like that and has said, no, I would rather create a pathway and a bridge for others to find freedom and peace and the truth. And I think, man, that's incredible. That's a verse we skip over all the time, and I'm going,
Yeah,
no, that's the period. That's the why. And so, yeah, those are my two favorite verses.
that's really good. When you were talking about, you know, getting to know yourself, it reminded me of when I first started singing here, and I don't think it was that long ago. It was probably like 6 or 9-ish months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't sing out. And I remember you telling me, you were like, "Hey, you sound good. I want you to hold the mic and keep it there."
Mm-hmm.
Because first, sound people are finding it hard to be able to figure out where I'm going, but also you go, we want to hear you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you
Yep.
understand how much that meant to me, because I'd been so, like, starting off singing journey in general was just like being too loud,
Mm.
because everyone I'd be singing around were, they had softer voices, and I naturally belt.
Mm-hmm.
And when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh. I think I probably like teared up. I didn't let you see it, but I
Just
was like,
oblivious.
oh my gosh. Like, I think I really need to hear that, because I was so scared of being loud, and I wanted to sound like everyone else, and
Mm-hmm.
wanted to, you know, copy the voices of all those people that I did admire, not knowing that, God's called me to a different path. And if belting's my thing, then belt and learn how to be a better belter, and
Yeah.
all of that. So, yeah, I really appreciated that. And, it was also the success part of it, thinking that, oh my gosh, my voice cracked. Oh my gosh, like I'm so in my head about how
Yeah.
I sound,
Mm-hmm.
forgetting that the whole point of this was being called to worship, wanting to not even just lead people, but also just express my love for God through music and singing, and
Mm-hmm.
hoping that other people also understand and they feel that through the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Of course, and I'm glad that that was a moment for you because I was completely oblivious. Must have been God. So
Yeah, I was having a whole like revolution there, and Paul's just like,
just, I want chicken tenders. Get about my next meal.
That's okay. Well, I'm glad I got to tell you that. And I want you to know I really appreciate your leadership, and I really do look up to you. I'm really grateful that we cross paths, and that I'm here, and I got to know you more today, and got to know myself more with the questions you asked me. So thank you for all you do.
course.
Really.
Thank you,
You're a
daughter
great
Temi.
leader.
Oh, appreciate you.
Where can people find your music? Where can we find you?
Everywhere. Whatever you like to stream on, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, Pandora.
Oh,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
Pandora.
everywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a streaming platform still, right? Yeah.
Okay. And what's
Yeah.
your name?
My name's Paul Jung.
How do you
It's
spell it?
it's Paul and then Jung. It's Young with a J, but it's Jung. Yeah. Joung.
There you go.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Bye.